Sean Hannity has been in the public eye for decades as one of the most famous conservative speakers in America and a media giant. People have been paying close attention to Sean Hannity's life since he started out as a talk radio show in the 1990s and continued until he became one of Fox News' main hosts. Even though he was famous, he kept his personal life a secret until 2020, when it came out that he had split up with Jill Rhodes, his wife of almost 20 years. Many of his fans were shocked by what he said. People thought Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes were a strong and reliable couple after being married for more than 26 years. People thought that Hannity's quick rise in the media business was due to a quiet, reliable alliance, even though they didn't make many public appearances together. But once the truth came out, it was clear that their marriage had been failing for years. What then happened? Also, why did Sean Hannity get divorced from his long-term partner? Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes met in a way that changed their personal lives and started Sean's quick rise to fame. Hannity's marriage became famous, but their separate stories show how their different upbringings affected them. Sean Hannity was born in New York City on December 30th, 1961, and grew up in Franklin Square, Long Island. Hannity was raised in an Irish-American working-class family where traditional values and hard work were taught. A short time later, he went to Adelphi University and New York University, but he quit before getting his degree to focus on his love of talk radio. Hannity started out as a general contractor and worked in building, but his natural ability to argue and talk to people got him jobs on the radio in Alabama and California. Hannity got his big break when he started working as a radio host for WVNN in Huntsville, Alabama. A lot of people knew him right away for his strong beliefs, angry speeches, and conservative remarks. This early success set him on the path to becoming one of the most well-known figures in conservative media. Hannity became famous all over the country when he co-hosted Hannity and Combs after joining Fox News in 1996. He became well-known over time because of the unique way he combined political analysis with harsh criticism. In contrast, Jill Rhodes picked a more quiet way to get what she wanted. Rhodes was born on August 27, 1962, in Alabama. He went to the University of Alabama to study writing and got a degree in it. She started out by writing political articles for the Huntsville Times. Her sharp writing and observations made her famous there. The first time Rhodes met Hannity was when she worked at the Huntsville Times. Sean, who was a local radio host at the time, often asked her what she thought about politics. After working together for a while, they quickly became friends and got married in 1993. Hannity became famous, while Rhodes stayed out of the spotlight by focusing on running the home and taking care of their two kids. Many people say that she helped Hannity's popularity stay steady in the beginning of his work. Rhodes' personality is different from Sean's because she values her family and likes peace and quiet. Their separate paths show two very different but complementary characters. Still, after more than 20 years of marriage, they got a divorce. Rhodes' calm strength and wisdom were the most important things in their lives together. Hannity became famous for being ambitious and vocal. Even though they went in different directions, their backgrounds worked well together to make a team that lasted. How could such a powerful couple have ended their marriage? Be patient, and let's dive in to find out. At the start of their relationship, they had a special bond based on respect, love, and shared values. The first time they met was online. Hannity, on the other hand, was interested in Rhodes' smart writing and sharp mind. It was her writing that spoke to him because it showed not only how good a reporter she was, but also how her views matched his own. Hannity started talking to Rhodes on the phone because he thought she was smart, and they became friends, which finally led to a relationship. As their conversations went from work to personal, they learned more about each other. Hannity later said that he fell in love with her right away and that their relationship was like a meeting of the minds that ended with a memory. In 1991, Rhodes finally met Hannity in person when he invited him to a discussion about mayors that he was holding. Their friendship grew stronger after this first meeting, and they started dating right away. Hannity's confidence, charm, and sense of humor made Rhodes' wit, knowledge, and grounded nature even better. Their traditional beliefs, which would become a strong part of their family life, brought them together. In 1993, Hannity and Rhodes got married in a ceremony that showed how they felt about life in a personal but important way. Instead of being a fancy event, their wedding was a celebration of their love and commitment to each other. For both of them, the union meant working together towards shared goals and getting help from each other. Jill Rhodes was a big part of how Hannity's success grew. As a reporter, she gave him helpful feedback that helped him make his work better. Hannity often recognized her effect, praising her as a calming force in his life and a reliable career advisor. Their marriage was a good example of a working relationship because both of them put their families first and helped each other reach their goals. Their children were a boy and a girl. Faith, family, and having a strong sense of purpose were important things in their home, where they grew up. In spite of Hannity's busy job and public image, the pair tried to find a balance. Rhodes often stayed out of the spotlight to focus on their family life. Hannity and Rhodes' relationship began with mutual respect, similar values, and undying support for each other. They had a great relationship in the beginning, based on love, respect, and shared goals. However, their marriage had problems over time, and in 2020, they decided to split up. Hannity has admitted that Jill was very important to his early career because she helped him improve his arguments and even gave him advice and ideas for his radio shows. While Sean was busy with his media job, Jill helped him behind the scenes and stayed out of the spotlight. She was called Sean's Rock. That included hosting a Fox News show during prime time and a radio show that was heard all over the country. But the pressures of being famous and having a high-profile job eventually put a strain on a relationship, even if both people tried hard to stay out of the public eye. Since there was already a base of mutual respect and understanding, what went wrong? Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes' relationship began with mutual respect and a commitment to the same values. But as with many long-term relationships, problems arose and they broke up in 2020. Hannity's difficult, well-known job was a big part of the stress in their marriage. Because Hannity is a well-known radio and TV host, his work plan is very busy and often includes long travel times and long work hours. Because Rhodes liked a calmer, family-centered life, he naturally grew apart from him. They grew apart over time because they had different lives and goals. Reports say that the couple lived different lives for a number of years before they officially split up. Their duties as parents came before their problems with each other, and they put on a united front for the sake of their two kids even though they weren't getting along. According to the couple's friends, the breakup was friendly and built on the mutual realization that they had grown apart over time. Another reason was Hannity's controversial public image. He was one of the most well-known conservative speakers in the media, so his work was often criticized and caused a lot of trouble. Even though Rhodes tried to stay out of the spotlight most of the time, the constant attention and criticism that was focused on Hannity may have had an indirect effect on their friendship. Rhodes and Hannity continued to support each other even after they broke up, and were good at raising their kids together. Their friendly divorce showed that they wanted to keep their home a happy place for their family, even though they chose to split up. Their situation shows how hard it can be to balance personal and work duties, especially when you have to deal with public scrutiny. Several news outlets say that after a very rough time, while Sean was covering the Trump administration, they finally broke up with each other. As one of Trump's most vocal and loyal supporters, Hannity has been in the news for how close he is to the former president. Some people think that the couple's relationship got worse because of all the attention. Reports say that Jill found it stressful to be tied to someone who caused so much controversy in public. A lot of people close to the family say that Jill felt disconnected from Sean's life because of the pressures of politics and the media. According to a source close to Hannity, his work peaked during the 2016 election cycle. However, his personal relationships may have suffered after the couple's big fight. The exact details are still unknown, but this event is thought to have been the beginning of the end for their marriage. These problems didn't stop Sean and Jill from hiding the fact that they were no longer together for a few years. In their joint statement in 2020, they said that they had been separated for a while and that they had come to an amicable agreement to end their breakup. At that time, someone close to the family said that Sean and Jill are determined to work together for the sake of their children. It's been more than 4 years since Sean and Jill came to an understanding. Their decision to end their marriage in a quiet and friendly way was in line with how they had run their relationship. Even after they got divorced, Sean and Jill seemed to really value keeping the public in the dark about their private lives. But what did Sean Hannity do about this mess, given that he is famous and works for the media? People started to wonder how Hannity's personal life would affect his public image after his split became public. Some people wondered if the stress of his split would affect his job, even though he was still a big deal in the conservative media. Things seemed to get worse for him in the years after his breakup. The media star's friends say that he became even more involved in his job, using it as a distraction and a way to stay stable during a time of personal trouble. However, Jill Rhodes has kept her privacy by staying out of the public eye and focusing on being a mother. In interviews or public speeches, she hasn't talked about the split, which shows that she wants to keep her private life private. Besides her ex-husband's well-known job, after getting divorced in 2020, Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes started a new part of their lives where they had to figure out their new roles as parents, co-parenting partners, and people going in different but related directions. They have shown that they are committed to giving their two kids security, even though they broke up, and living together in peace and harmony. Their 25-year marriage ended with an adult choice to pursue personal growth and freedom, not a painful split-up, as Hannity and Rhodes had been living separate lives for a number of years before they officially filed for divorce. Adjusting to life after the split was more of an official recognition of their separate paths than a sudden change. This slow split made it possible for them to get used to their new situation in a friendlier way. Hannity had to keep working hard at his job as a writer after his divorce, which was still very demanding. Being the host of Hannity on Fox News and the Sean Hannity Show on the radio is still his main job. At the same time, Hannity has talked about his duties as a dad and tried to be active in his kids' lives. Hannity seems to spend more time with his children, even though he has a very public job, and their bond has grown stronger. While Hannity's work life is still well known, his personal life has stayed mostly quiet, limiting the public's ability to look closely at and criticize him. After her split, Jill Rhodes, who has always liked a quiet life, focused on her family and staying away from other people. Even though she doesn't do much in public, she is always there for her kids and is very close with them. Rhodes has spent a lot of time making her home a strong, stable place to live while stressing her faith and traditional values, which have always been important to her. She keeps giving the family direction and support while dealing with the difficulties of shared parenting in a helpful way. They seem to stay together for their kids, which is an interesting thing about their lives after the split. Some people say that Rhodes and Hannity are committed to co-parenting in a way that makes the home feel loved and safe. Their friendship has grown into a partnership focused on helping their kids grow, learn, and feel good about themselves. Friends and family have praised this joint approach as a good example of how to co-parent after a breakup. Since the split, they haven't talked to anyone or been stressed out. The media has sometimes talked about Hannity's possible new ties, but he has never confirmed or denied any of them in public. He seems to be trying to find a good balance between his work goals and his duties to his family. Since his split, Sean Hannity hasn't said anything personal, but people have been wondering if he has found love again. People said in 2020 that he was connected to Ainsley Earhardt, who was also on Fox News. The fact that they have been seen together in public places has led to reports that they are dating, even though neither Hannity nor Earhardt has confirmed it. The split was the end of a big part of Hannity's life. Even though his marriage to Jill Rhodes helped his business a lot in the beginning, he has continued to rule the media in the years since they split up. A civil split that puts family values first marks the start of a new chapter for Hannity and Rhodes. However, they still want to give their kids a safe and loving home, even though they are no longer together. This plan shows that they can handle tough changes in their lives with poise and a positive attitude. Harmony, respect, and flexibility are important when making new lives while honoring shared duties and a shared past. Their experience serves as a lesson of this. The fact that Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes' marriage ended shows how hard it is to keep a relationship going when you're in the public eye. They chose to put their kids first and end their relationship peacefully, even though it must have been hard for them. This shows how much they care about their families. After the divorce, Hannity's fans were reminded that even famous and wealthy people have personal troubles. No matter how famous or important he is, Sean Hannity is just a man going through life, love, and death like everyone else.